It's time for the fourth and final quarter-final here in Moscow at the Hyundai Archery World Cup finale. And what a matchup we have here. Three archers already through, Galantin, Munoz and Buliev. Who is going to face Anton Buliev, though? It's going to be a matchup between the world number 2, the 25-year-old Dutch archer Mike Schloesser, and the world number 18, the Slovakian Josef Bazanski, who's 43 years old. They're ready to come out onto the range.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound men quarterfinal match number 4.
Well, Josef Bazanski is leading out the archers. He qualified for this tournament by ranking. Mike Schloesser qualified by winning the very first stage in Medellin. He's the world number 2, the Dutch archer. And he said earlier this week that winning that first stage really took the pressure off him this season. And the career stats, well, they're all in favour of Mike Schloesser. He is the big favourite here, but neither of these athletes like a tie-break. In fact, Mike Schloesser has lost 5 of 6 shoot-offs this season. No World Cup podiums for Bazanski, the Slovakian, and as you can see, Schloesser has been on the top of the podium 7 times in his career.
The line judge for this matchup is Andrea Avila. Ladies and gentlemen, our 4th and final quarterfinal matchup of the afternoon.
Well, Schloesser has been on top of the podium 11 times at a World Cup stage. He's the world indoor and field champion, and he recently won the European Games as well. This is his 5th consecutive World Cup finals, winning the title in Odense in 2016.
This match is going to be really telling for me and how Mike does at this World Cup final. It seems to me in the past that either he gets eliminated in the first round or he goes on to win gold.
Well, he's going to shoot first to kick off this quarter-final.
9 or 10.
On the line, Schloesser making adjustments straight away. Now, what's interesting about Josef Bazanski is he only started archery in 2014. Made 2 quarterfinals this season, but starts with an 8.
You don't have to be a young spring chicken in order to do well in archery. You have to just be consistent and cool under pressure.
He twitched there from Mike Schloesser, but he puts it into the 10 ring.
Yeah, he felt that one going low and tried to correct.
Good recovery from Right, now this is marked as a 29, but the first arrow is subject to a measure.
There's Steve and Gabby cheering for Mikey.
9.
Steve,
Right, so
Via and Gabriel Bayardo. So a 2-point lead as things stand for Mike Schloesser. Currently 29,
number 1
for Schloesser, but this is the measure.
10.
That looks like it's all 10s from Schloesser, so I think that's going to be a perfect start for Sir Perfect, as he's known.
There's a lot of pressure on these archers right now. I mean, in compound it's scary because you can shoot 15 arrows, and if you lose in the first round, you're headed home, or if you win, then you're going on to some medal matches. And especially with compound, there's so much precision involved. The slightest amount of pressure or tension in your shot will have big results at the target.
Josef Bazanski, though, you have to say, he is the underdog in this match, so if you like, Schloesser's got everything to lose here, and Bosanski can just go out and shoot his arrows.
Yeah, and that can definitely be where the pressure comes in. For me, I feel like a lot of the pressure is on Mike because he has a lot to lose right now.
Well, Bosanski gets us underway with an X in this second end.
Looked relieved about that one. And you could tell he knew that was going right in the X. He was nodding right as soon as that release went off.
Another 10 from Bosanski, and he is blowing a sigh of relief on every shot now. So calm.
Oh, 10,
Wow.
10, 10, perfect score.
Lovely response from Bosanski. He gets a perfect 30 in the second end.
Wow, 10, 10,
And
10.
another perfect 30 from Mike Schloesser.
Again, just riding the wave of perfection.
Mr. Perfect showing why he has that nickname. But don't count this man out. He's dialed in now.
Yeah, found the centre of the target, and he matched Schloesser's second perfect score. Here are the arrows in that second end.
You can see Joseph's arrows are all quite a little bit low, but he does have a slightly better group than Mike. Mike, when he was shooting, I knew that he was feeling confident because there was no question and no hesitation in his shot. They're all in the 10 as well.
You tend to see the archers improve throughout a match, and so if you have a good start, you're giving yourself a very strong chance of winning. Bosanski shooting a 27, whilst not bad at all, out of a maximum 30, gave you an opportunity for Mike Schloesser to take the lead, but he's found at the centre of the target in that second end, and there's the confident nod from Mike Schloesser. It didn't rattle Joseph Bosanski though. Two perfect scores for both of the athletes. Bosanski trailing though, shoots first at the start of the third end and hits another 10.
They're both proving why they deserve to be here. We're amongst the best archers in the world right now.
So Grimace there gave away the fact that wasn't going into the 10.
Tien en half rechtsonder, ja.
So 29 for Bosanski. It's another perfect score for Mike Schloesser. He hasn't dropped a single point so far, and now leads by a whopping 4 points.
There's amazing archer Peter Elzinga from the Netherlands there in the box for Mikey. I spoke with him just earlier and he said he's maybe starting to focus a little bit more on coaching, so I'm very jealous of whatever archers he's going to be working with because he's an excellent archer and knows so much.
Ook met het zug, joh. Je hebt echt, jij schiet ze bijna allemaal weg met 11, 12 seconden nog op de klok, man.
Well, Schloesser hasn't missed the centre of the target, so this man here has to be right in the centre himself. Any opportunity he presents to Schloesser is going to mean he pulls out a big lead, and this was the arrow that gave Schloesser the opportunity to open up his lead, just dropping into the 9, and archers know immediately.
Yeah, and I could see his hand coming off his anchor a little bit before the release went off. Maybe he was thinking ahead and trying to get that shot off before it was ready.
Start of the fourth, and so far Mike Schloesser hasn't dropped a single point. Joseph Bosanski of Slovakia will shoot first again.
there's you, Chakai.
10,
Yeet
10,
Bijna op de spin, jongen.
That's the best arrow so far.
There's home, Chakai.
10,
Wow. Incredible showing from both archers right now.
10,
10 hoog. Nee, hoog. Ja. Net geen X.
There's
9,
Bit quicker on that one.
It could have just been that his scope wasn't fully aligned with the target and he wasn't fully ready to go, but his release aid went off.
oh, 10, 10, 10.
Another perfect score from Mr. Perfect. He's on a 120 out of 120 here. Now leads by 5 points. He was the favourite coming in, but now his focus is going to be on trying to get the 150.
Ja.
He has been absolutely dialed in from the very first arrow. Here we take a look at all of his arrows so far. That is absolutely incredible.
I have no words. It takes so much skill and precision to be able to shoot all 10s. I mean, he has 3 more arrows to go. Let's see if he can shoot a perfect 150, sorry, with a perfect end of 30, leading him into the semifinals.
The arrow, though, in that end was the best shot so far in the whole match. Tickling the spider, as they say. Here it is. Cross right in the center of the target. It's referred to as the spider.
The spider's not laughing after being tickled. I'm pretty sure that spider's pretty dead and gone.
Well, he's keeping his composure, Mike Schloesser. Joseph Bazanski, well, I think it's going to be difficult for him to call back 5 points. So he's just got to get out there and shoot for pride.
There's Chakai.
9,
David.
Wow.
Yeet
Net geen X. Rechtsop.
Polosic. There's to Chakai.
9,
David.
Go. Goed niet hoor. Training.
Another 10.
Incredible.
There's you, Chakai.
There we go.
Yeet
1 more arrow to go. Let's see if Mikey can shoot a perfect 150.
Can he do it indeed? A 5 is all that he needs to win. Oh, it's always the way. The very last arrow goes into the 9 and a 149 out of 150 for Mike Schloesser. A rueful smile on his face, but he's done it. He's through to the semi-finals here in Moscow.
That shot was just a little bit different from his other ones. I wish I could have seen him just continue to be relaxed, especially with his thumb. But, you know, maybe he's saving the 150 for the semifinals or his final matches.
Ja, bedoel, je gaat sowieso voor een medaille schieten nou. En dat is prima nou, hè?
14 10s in a row. All he had to do was put it in the 10 ring. There is confirmation that Mike Schloesser taking a victory here in this quarterfinals.
Is there an extra element of pressure on his shoulders?
Handshakes all around. Joseph Bazanski having only been shooting since 2014. Well, he'll be a proud man to have made it to the World Cup finals here in Moscow. But his time is up. Mike Schloesser marches on into the semi-finals. So now it's time for the second semi-final here in Moscow in the compound men's category. Another mouth-watering contest in store here. We've seen Galantine come through Kairan and Munoz to make the final. Munoz will be in the bronze medal match. Who will Braden Galantine face in the gold medal match? It's a contest between the Netherlands' Mike Schloesser and Russia's very own Anton Bulaev. The crowd will get right behind this as things continue to get darker here in Moscow. It's time to welcome the athletes out for the second men's compound semi-final.
Please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound men's semi-final match number 2.
Well, here we go.
Shooting on target number 1.
On target 1, it's the world number 2, 25-year-old Dutch archer Mike Schloesser. He has the better career stats, apart from in the tiebreakers, where Anton Bulaev is very strong. Mike Schloesser qualified by winning the first stage in Medellin.
Shooting on target number 2.
He's got 11 World Cup gold medals. But Bulaev has also been on the podium at World Cups. He's 23 years old and he is the world number 8, qualified as the host nation pick, and he's got the crowd right behind him.
If anyone's going to give Mike Schloesser a run for his money, it's going to be Anton Bulaev. He just made it to the semis by beating the only undefeated archer in the year, James Letts.
The loser into the bronze medal match. So, who is going to go win? Time now to find out.
Well, Mike Schloesser just dropped 1 point in his quarterfinals. It was the very last arrow that dropped into the 9. It was 10s. The other 14 arrows. I've got to say he's the favourite for this match. But the Russian crowd may add a couple of points to Bulaev's target. Schloesser to get us underway. The second men's compound semi-final.
10.
Telling a nod from Mr. Perfect. Starts with a 10.
Strong answer from Anton.
Mooi man. Op de spin. Heel knap.
Brilliant performance so far from both of the archers.
He looks so relaxed, and he just knows every arrow is going right in the middle. There's no question about it. Wow.
What a response from Anton Bulaev.
One of the biggest stages for Anton Bulaev so far. He's looking very calm as well.
Number 2 between Anton Bulaev and Mike Schloesser. The second time the archers go head-to-head. In fact, it is a rematch.
Impressive start from both Mike Schloesser and Anton Bulaev, hitting 10s throughout that first end. And here is a comparison of the arrows.
Ja, die laatste twee waren echt zuiver. Hè. Ja,
What's there to say? They're shooting so accurately. Both archers have very, very tight groups with maybe a slightly high arrow, but that's not saying much because they're still within the 10 ring.
Yeah, very similar indeed.
Mike Schloesser, 25 years of age, currently ranked
Bulaev
world
looking
number
pretty
2.
relaxed there, jigging his head along to the music being played in between ends. But so does Mike Schloesser.
Moving into end number 2.
Nothing between the two. They've shot perfect scores so far in this match. It's time for the second end of this men's compound semi-final.
He knew that right away.
Yeah, the nod's become part of his process, isn't it?
He's doing it the same every single time.
Nine.
First drop point for Belev.
10.
Hele goede X.
10.
Wow.
Perfect score.
Well, perfect score from Mike Schloesser. The first arrow from Belev is subject to a measure here, so he could still be on a perfect score as well. We'll have to wait to see what the target judge says. No doubt about Schloesser's
Target 1 is
10s.
X,
Here they are.
10,
X10-10. This is the important one.
target 2, 10, 10, 9.
And that first arrow has been marked as a 9. We wait for confirmation on the scoreboard, but it looks like Mike Schloesser has just snuck into a 1-point lead after 2 ends. And there he is. He hasn't missed the center of the target so far in this match. And that nod of approval, that has become part of his process. He releases the arrow and just gives himself a little nod. 3 more 10s in the second end for Mr. Perfect.
It's getting darker by the minute as the sun's setting here, but I don't think it's really affecting these gentlemen at all. I think they're shooting very, very well and very consistently.
Belev will get the third end underway.
9.
Oh. Another low 9. Wow.
That's in the X ring, right in the center of the target.
Oh.
9 or 10.
That's a close one. It's marked as a 10 on the scoreboard. So another 29 for Anton Belev.
Excellent shooting.
And potentially another perfect score.
Well, that second arrow looked like it might be subject to a measure, but it's been confirmed as a 10, so Mr. Perfect is still on a perfect score.
What I'd love to see from Schloesser right now is that he stays very calm. He doesn't want to change anything about his shot. If he shot 9 10s already in a row, there's no reason to change anything. He needs to stay relaxed and execute them the same way that he's always been doing.
Yeah.
Nou, hij is geüpdate, dus mooi hebben.
Well, he has been on terrific form here. It's just the slightest opportunity is afforded when Belev just drops slightly out of the 10 ring. He's done it twice so far in the match. There is that first arrow from that end dropping into the 9, and he knows every single point he drops is a massive opportunity for his opponent.
Great start to the fourth end for Bulayev.
Ten.
10,5 rechtshoog.
Just 2 nines, and that could be all it takes for Anton Bulayev to drop out of this contest or go into the bronze medal match, because Schloesser just doesn't look like he's going to drop the ball, does he?
Nope, not at all. I think he's dialed in and he's ready to keep shooting 10s. Wow.
Great shooting here from both these archers. It's just the 2 nines dropped earlier on in the match that have given this man the lead. Oh, and he shoots his first 9 of the match.
It looked like a good shot to me. I think he's a little bit perplexed by it as well, but not too bothered. He's just focused on the match.
He's just checking his arrows there. Good discipline from Mike Schloesser. He leads by a single point as we go into the final end, but Anton Bulayev has shot so well here. He's only dropped 2 points himself. So he's been perfect almost completely throughout this match, shooting 11 10s in a row. The first 2 in this match went right next to each other. This shot looked okay, but it was just a little high and in the 9.
It's making for a very exciting match going into the last end, just separated by 1 point.
Pressure on both of these archers. Bulayev trailing will shoot first. And he's going to feel the pressure because he's really got to keep putting it in the 10s. Great first shot there.
I knew that one too. Mikey does not want to take this to a shoot-off.
He can take a little breather now as the pressure switches over to Mike Schloesser. Another 10 from him.
Hele mooie X.
Bulayev.
He's had 7 10s in a row.
It's another one here. Just to put a bit of pressure on. A perfect 30 from Bulayev. That's all he could do. Finishes on a 148, a great score out of a maximum 150. A 10, though, will take it for Schloesser. And he's done it. He's popped another perfect score out. 4 of the 5 ends ended with a 30. He just dropped 1 point in the 4th end, and that gives him a 149 out of 150, and that books his place in the final here in Moscow. But Vanessa, the quality of that match was phenomenal. Between them, they only dropped 3 points.
It was absolutely incredible. Mike just dropping 1 point and Anton Bulayev dropping 2. A 148 would beat pretty much anybody else on the field, but it's just unfortunate he had to face Mike Schloesser right now.
Well, they prayed off. Schloesser has shot 2 149s to get through to the final. He'll go up against Braden Galantine, and Anton Bulayev will face Daniel Munoz in the bronze medal match. It's time for the gold medal match here at the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals in Moscow, and what a matchup it is too. Well, here is the draw. Top of the table, Mike Schloesser came through Joseph Byzanski of Slovakia and then Anton Buliev of Russia to make the final. And at the bottom of the bracket, the number 2 seed in the competition, Braden Gellentine from the USA, took out Evren Kairan and then Daniel Munoz. It is the final we all expected. It's Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands up against the USA's Braden Gellentine for gold here in Moscow. Here they are. Let's welcome them out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field of play. For the compound men gold medal match.
Well, it's absolutely the seeded pairing that I think every neutral was hoping for. 8th appearance at the World Cup finals for Braden Gellentine, who's shooting on target number 2. And it's the world indoor and field champion, Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands, who will be shooting on target number 1.
On target number 1.
He's the world number 2, Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands. 25 years old, up against Braden Gellentine, the world number 1. Very, very slightly better average arrow for the Dutch archer, and has a higher match win percentage, but only by a couple of percent. It's the tiebreakers, though, that are the telling factor between these two archers. Gellentine much more favoured with a shoot-off, and that is a very distinct possibility. In the head-to-head, Gellentine also has it 7-4, but very, very close indeed between these two archers. Gellentine's actually lost a couple this season to Schloesser in Medellin and in Berlin at the beginning and end of the season. Was of course in the final in Medellin, where Schloesser claimed the title. So here we go.
Shot. Good strong shots.
This for the gold medal. Mike Schloesser, a 25-year-old from the Netherlands, and world number 2 will shoot first.
10.9 rechts.
Nice shot.
Well,
Absolutely perfect shot to start the match.
we're expecting high quality, and it looks like that's what we're going to get.
Wow.
En finish.
Nice shot.
Well, a perfect score from Mr. Perfect to kick us off. Perfect score from Braden Gellentine as well. No points dropped so far.
These are the 2 best male compound archers in the world right now. Braden Gellentine is ranked 1 in the world. Mike Schloesser is ranked number 2. Mike Schloesser actually came into the finals as the first-ranked archer, and Braden Gellentine as the second.
Yeah, well, you say they're the top 2 in the world. Let's take a look at their arrows in that first end. Schloesser with the yellow and Braden Gellentine with the red. The groupings are almost exactly the same.
Almost exactly the same, and closer to the X than they are the 9 ring. I mean, this is high-level shooting, and I'm pretty sure the next couple of ends that are coming up are going to be nothing different.
Yeah, well, Gellentine's got the closest one to the spider there, but the grouping is so tight for both of them. And look at this first arrow to start the match off. Right in the middle, and then all 3 around the X-ring. He's won this competition twice, in 2012 and 2017, going for his 3rd title here. All square though, as Mike Schloesser starts N2. little higher.
I love the clock.
Just matching each other there with both their shots. Something I notice about Mike Schlosser's shots is that he's reacting a little bit more with his bow arm. I'd love to see him stay calm throughout, right until the end.
9.
Well, the first drop point from Braden Galantine, the second arrow of the second set. Now it's about how Schloesser responds.
10.
Another perfect score.
Net geen niks scoort. Ja. Ja. Blijf dan goed kijken. Blijf maar gewoon goed uit.
There we go.
But it's that one drop point, and it really, you know, it's horrible to say it, but you're looking for the first mistake from one of these archers. That's how good they are, and then it's how both of them then respond to that mistake, whether they make it or whether it's their opponent that's made it.
And it's crazy to think that dropping 1 point is so significant for an archer, but at this level, it really is. That's why not even centimeters, but millimeters can make a difference, because it's all about precision and consistency.
Well, it's a very, very slight error here. I mean, we're talking about fractions of a millimeter from Braden Galantine shooting his second arrow just outside the 10 ring. But look at the reaction there. He knows that could be it, especially when the response from Schloesser is another 10 and another perfect score. The Dutch archer is in the lead by 1. If he can stay as perfect as he has done so far, he might be able to just put it out of reach.
That's right, he shot 2 matches with scores of 149. Maybe this is his chance to shoot a perfect 150.
Start of the third end here, and shooting on target 2, it's Braden Galantine who will start things off. Another 9. This is another big opportunity for Mike Schloesser.
10 op het cijfer 10. Rechts.
Well, making a slight adjustment there after Coach Elzinga said something to him. Galantine needs to recover his composure, and he does so, putting it into the 10 ring.
X, kort op de lijn.
There's no question that Mike Schlosser's dialed in and very focused on the X.
It's one of those shots where you want to let down the moment you get back to full draw.
First 9 from Schloesser. He matches Braden Galantine, so only leads by that single point when there was an opportunity to go 2 points ahead. But still, vitally, it's Schloesser who has the lead.
You could hear Braden talking about what he was thinking through that shot, and he said, it's just one of those shots that you want to let go before getting to full draw. And sometimes your shot just doesn't feel completely right and you want to restart, but in this match you only have 20 seconds, so that's a decision you have to make very quickly.
So Schloesser had an opportunity to open up his 1 point lead to 2. He needed a 10 here to do so, and he knows straight away, even though we're talking about millimeters away from the 10 ring, Schloesser knew that it was high and left. He's still in the lead though. Just needs to maintain his composure, and you know he is nicknamed Mr. Perfect. A lot of archers are, you know, they're seeking perfection all the time, and it can put you off your stride if you're not happy with the way that you're shooting.
It can. I think the main thing is to refocus and think about the arrows that you're about to shoot.
Well, Galantine starts the fourth end with another 9.
Yep, he knew that was going right in the middle.
Oh! It's a second 9. shaking his head, making an adjustment, Braden Galantine. This is a massive opportunity for Schloesser. In the X-ring as well.
There we go.
I just fired them both right there.
Well,
going in.
absolutely perfect again from Mike Schloesser. Another 30 puts him 3 points clear, and that's the quality that Mike Schloesser can put down the range. Just 2 drop points from Galantine, and now that lead looks massive after 4 ends.
So again, you could see Braden talking about how he just knew the arrows were going to go right there. He fired them right there. The scope actually travels around through the target, and then the release is a little bit of a surprise. And you can see here Mike has an excellent group, just the high 9, and most of his arrows are actually in the excellent group at 50 meters.
Yeah, just the single drop point in the third, and Mike Schloesser dropped a point in the third, but this fourth end he was back in the center of the target and back with the head nod after releasing the arrow, because he knows it's gone into the X-ring. Look how close those 2 arrows are. And the third one also on the X-ring. He's in the driving seat as we go into the 5th end here in Moscow. Braden Galantine trailing by 3 points, needs to put 10s into the target to put some kind of pressure on Mike Schloesser. And it's another 9 to get things underway, and Schloesser has now got room for manoeuvre.
There we go.
Op de spin, jongen.
Over correction there. 1 right, 1 left. He can afford a smile, I think, because he knows this one has probably got away from him. Mr. Perfect with another 10. Finishing with a 10 and a 1:44. But Mike Schloesser just needs a 6 to take the title here in Moscow.
7.
Oh my word! He shot his first 8 of the entire tournament. It's more than enough. That's what he needed to get through. Just a 6, so an 8 has done it. Mike Schloesser is the champion of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup Finals.
An incredible match from both of them. Mike had a chance at shooting another 149, but with his last arrow, just, you know, got a little bit too excited with his thumb, but he took the gold medal in the end.
A fabulous match from Mike Schloesser. Uncharacteristically, Braden Galantine dropped perhaps more points than we normally see him doing so, and he had shook his head after the second 9 in the 5th end. He shot tremendously to get through to the finals, but it wasn't to be here in Moscow. 2019 is the year of Mike Schloesser in the compound men's archery field.